That was the modern day. Shoot 63s, score 140, flying up and down the court, aesthetically beautiful. This game, closeout game, was a nod to our president. That was fully in his image and personality. We'll definitely take it. There's been nothing easy about this season this year, and that proved to be true in our closeout game. That was just an absolute grind. I tip my hat. We all tip our hat to the New York organization. They've had a phenomenal year, and this series was everything we expected to be. Incredibly competitive and physical. Each possession was contested the way it should be. Had guys battling through injuries. I guess this was the ankle sprain series, and you just have to admire, how the guys were putting themselves out there, both sides. So we tip our hat to them, and we'll take it for sure. We don't take any of this for granted. It is hard to win in this league. It's hard to win in the playoffs, and it is really freaking hard to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. We've had our normal big audacious goals for this season, but when you get to one step like this, you have great gratitude, because there's a lot of teams that would love to be in this position, and we've had to fight and claw to earn everything that we've gotten in this postseason. We don't take this for granted.
Kind of to expand, well, first off, what's in the cup? We have to ask what's in the cup.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, I didn't think so. It was earned, I'm
Very
sure.
observant.
Whatever it is was earned. Like you said, it has been, the 8 seeds don't go to the conference finals. Only one team's done it. And this has been, you guys were 3 minutes from going out against Chicago in the play-in. What does it mean that this team found what it needed to find and has kept finding what it's needed to find so many times over these first 2 rounds?
Yeah, these are the kind of lessons that hopefully that we impart on our children, that you can develop perseverance and grit, when things are tough and when people are criticizing you. And, I've said it many times about our regular season. There was nothing easy about it, but the guys came in, with a spirit every single day to try to get better and not make excuses for everything. We were well aware of all the injuries and the moving parts and changing lineups. I think we got better, in a lot of areas, and finding different solutions. But, we had to do a lot of things the hard way. But in the meantime, this is what you always hope for with a team, that you hope the adversity brings a group together rather than, take away your spirit. And it definitely did that. I had that feeling, for the last 3 months of the regular season, but then it was cemented in my mind after we lost the Atlanta game. I knew how badly, as soon as I walked into the film session the next day, I knew how badly our team wanted to keep this thing going. And that's a spirit that you always hope you can cultivate in your team. And it doesn't always happen, and that's why you're just grateful for this opportunity, to represent the Eastern Conference in the Eastern Conference Finals.
With the way Brunson had it going, what were the kind of softer doubles able to accomplish down the stretch?
Not a whole lot.
Instead of the trash?
Yeah, how's that dude not an All-Star or All-NBA? I haven't even really checked the All-NBA. Have those come out yet? Yes. Oh, they have. That's how intense this series has been. Did any of our guys make it? Where have I been? I thought the defensive stuff came out. I didn't even see that. He should be on one of those teams. I wish he was still out west, but man, you got to respect him as a competitor. He's like a lot of our guys in the locker room. He's got an iron will. There's something about these Villanova guys. They're tough as they come as competitors. And, Kyle I told Kyle at some point during the series, I said, don't ever forget you were the first one, okay? But Jalen's taken that baton for sure. He's just an incredible competitor. And, we came in with some different ideas, trying to get the ball out of his hands, and then he went to a different thing, 5 out of 10 from 3. But that's what great players do. You just, you figure different things out. And thankfully, we were able to, get that one stop at the end. I think we're all on our, seat of, on the edge of our seats. But we got the stop and the rebound. And somebody mentioned that Bam only had 9 rebounds. It felt like he had 17 rebounds. All the physicality, they were letting a lot of stuff go. And he played a man's game, on the glass, and physicality, everything. He was just all over the place. That's as hard as you can play.
Speaking of that, Jimmy did so much so early in the playoffs, and obviously that takes a toll. But the way, everyone rallied around him, and then at the end, he still was there for you. What does this something like this say about Jimmy, as opposed to maybe when he was getting the 30s and 40s early in the playoffs, or doing it the hard way?
We've said so many platitudes about Jimmy. You could put his mental toughness up there in the top echelon of anybody on this planet as a professional athlete. To be able to grind through, and I'm not making any excuses for him. He'll scream at me and yell at me if I did that, but it's clear he wasn't physically, the way he was in the Milwaukee series, but he still commands so much respect and attention that we just played out of double teams, basically in the second half, and he was a facilitator, and we were just grinding through possessions, got some key opportunities off those double teams, and then when he really needed to get a bucket and some free throws, he was able to do that down the stretch, and that's all mental toughness and will, and not being denied, down the stretch.
I think through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, you guys are leading the NBA in screen assists, loose balls recovered, deflections, and charges taken. What does that say, kind of just the identity of this team right now and the way you guys are playing?
Yeah, I think that was happening, all year long. I think when we're going through all the injuries and everything, we were being, I think, unfairly criticized. I don't think we would have been the number 1 seed, or probably not even the top 3 team. But we would have been 4 or 5, somewhere like that. We're not your normal 8 seed. There were a bunch of circumstances, but we developed an identity of that. We were doing that all year long. We were winning games just in the mud and grinding, toughing teams out and defending like crazy, and then finding different solutions at the end of games and all these close games to win. And then after the All-Star break, our offense really started to kick in once we got healthy. So I think that's just been the nature, of our guys all year long, and they take pride in it, making the tough plays, the plays that a lot of guys don't want to make, winning plays. And we got some key steals and deflections down the end. Those were the game-saving plays, really. It wasn't like we were scoring a bunch, those last 4 minutes. If Bam didn't get that deflection, Gabe got a heck of a steal after really tough play on that inbound when we're up 6. Those can be really deflating plays. And he's so mentally tough. The very next play, he got the deflection steal. That really kind of sealed it for us.
Yes, so can touch more on that. That's what I was going to ask you about, the turnover battle, just the fact that you guys were able to win that turnover battle, especially down those stops in that last minute. Yeah,
and that's not an easy team to do that to. I think they were, top 3 in ball control, if not number 1 in the league. They're extremely efficient. They get shots on goal. They usually win the possession game by controlling the turnover game and the offense rebound game. But our guys wrap their minds around that we're going to have to do extraordinary efforts to turn them over. That's been a complexion of our team, but to do it against a team like that really takes care of the ball, and they're very organized offensively, you got to go above and beyond, with your efforts, and we had a lot of those tonight.
It seemed like Kyle was just pressing all the right buttons on both ends. What did you see from him tonight?
Yeah. You know, whatever I said about Jalen, you know, Kyle was the original. You know, he's just such a competitor that, all right, you take this way, I'm going to do this. All right, we need this. Right now, we're not getting that. I'm going to do this. We need something defensively, make a play. He's going to do that. And the real competitors, the guys that are really competing to win, that's the language they speak. And I think Kyle, Caleb, Gabe, Max, you know, when we were down, whatever, 15 points, they were really the spark that got us back into it. And there was a bunch of those kind of random plays, defensive plays, effort plays, and then Kyle just doing what he does, whether he's assisting or driving or hitting a three. You know, I've seen him do it twice in this series where I've probably never seen him do it, the pivot and post up and, you know, scoop underneath. But that's what competitors do. You got to make a play above and beyond that's going to help your